Welcome back, everybody. Stacking cash away for your future usually means investing in your job's 401k as soon as you start that job. Well, now the Wall Street Journal says it might be time to change up your strategy. Longer-term Treasury yields have hit their highest levels in 16 years, and the cost of stocks is rising. Experts saying the method of set it and forget it when it comes to establishing a 401k, yeah, that no longer applies. So let's bring in Gary B. Smith, NewsNation business contributor, to weigh in on this one. Gary B., happy Friday, sir. Where do you stand on this one? Should we set it and forget it with the 401ks, or is there a different route that we should be taking?
First of all, happy Friday, Markie. I read through the article. I love the Wall Street Journal. I think it's probably the best publication out there. And so when I read through, I thought, yeah, that maybe they're right. And then I looked at the data and I came to the conclusion that it was the goofiest advice I've ever heard. Look,
I love the honesty. Thank you.
This didn't make any sense to me. I get in the illustration where the author was coming from, but it kind of assumes you put, so what is today? Today is the 27th of October. It assumes you put all your money in maybe a 60-40 balance of stocks and bonds, and then you just forget it. You make like one lump sum, and then 7 years later, you're crying because you've lost whatever, 20%. But that's not what 401k investing is all about. 401k investing is basically dollar cost averaging.
Yes.
Plus, you get the benefit generally of your company also throwing in money for you. So every paycheck you take out, whatever it is, 2.5%, 3%, 4%, which your company generally matches. So you're buying less at the top, you're buying more at the bottom. And they've studied this. And then if you're in the market and you're like me and you're in your 60s and you're going to get out in 3 years, maybe that's horrible. But for most people, yourself, Adrienne, everyone else that's going to be in this for, 10, 15, 30 years, it is absolutely the best way to go.
Okay. You know what? Can I just be real with you for a second, Gary B? When you said this made no sense to me, that's music to my ears, because I read the article and I was like, what? This is not making sense to me. So I needed to bring you in when you talk about dollar cost averaging. That, of course, when you contribute to a 401k per paycheck. What are you telling your own kids, Gary B? Set up the 401k, and what else?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Both my daughters are, in fact, came to me within the last year and said, Dad, I have this 401k. What should I do? I said, it's very simple. Max out as much as you can put in. That's number one. Get the most you can from your employer. And I said, two, make it simple. I would put every dollar I had into some sort of fund that tracked the S&P 500. That's the magic bullet in all this. Don't screw around with the bonds or some high growth. Just put it into something that tracks the market. That's what I would advise for everyone. My kids they're in their mid-30s now. By the time they retire in 30, 40 years, they're going to be set for life.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that advice. I can hear my own father clapping from home in his living room at your advice, because he called me the other day out of nowhere and he just said, I need nothing. I just need to know that you're maximizing your 401k so I can go to sleep tonight. Lastly, we only have a few seconds left, Gary B. Your advice for people who, they hear you, they know that saving for the future is important, but they're living paycheck to paycheck. They're trying to feed the kids, put dinner on the table.
Right.
They need money now, and they can't think about the future quite yet. What do you tell them?
Then it's almost the reverse for them. Watch your expenses, your extravagant expenses. For example, going out to eat. Hey, going out to eat is fun, but it's just gotten so incredibly expensive. Little things like that, you really need to, if the revenue side is not there, you have a short horizon, you really got to look at, your streaming services. Do you need Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and all those? You just really have to cut down on that side of the balance sheet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.